Hey guys, welcome to Kingdom Culture. I wanted to make this episode a video, but I realized that I will not get a proper chance because there's so many dynamics that go into recording a video. In my world, at least. I don't know about other creators, but for me, there's a lot that goes on. The preparation, everything, like there's so much lighting involved, there's just a lot behind the production of a video. And so I took the easy way out and decided to do audio. If you could see me now, you'd be laughing. Hey. But anyway, it's not about that. I see collab. So I decided to make it an audio because it's quicker to produce and it's easier for me because I can get back to my schedule real quick, So I decided to connect with my people, with you guys. If you're a first-time listener, hey, welcome. This is me sending lots of love, and I hope you can join the community because you being here is not by chance. Literally, it's not by chance, and I appreciate you being here. So I invite you to join the community by firstly subscribing to my channel and checking out all the other episodes that I've uploaded in the past. Again, I stammer sometimes, and I'm not too eloquent. So bear with me. This is an imperfect girly trying to produce perfect work. But she also has a perfectionist personality. Very weird dynamic. But yeah, I'm an example of a dream realized. I was telling someone yesterday, shout out to you, someone. Shout out to you. And I was saying, Nomza Mombata inspires me. When I grow up, I want to low-key be like Nomza Mombata because she said at some point at the Unlimited Fest run by Mpumile Dwaba, Nomzamo said, I want to be the evidence of a dream realized. And so I thought about it too and I was like, actually, yes, I resonate with this so much. I want to be evidence of a dream realized. And so it doesn't take perfection. It doesn't take you to have it all figured out. Just go for it. Go for what you want. I'm not saying take uncalculated risks because that alone is a risk. It's risky behavior, but take calculated risks, right? Assess what could go wrong and what could go right. And yeah, go for it, but don't wait for the perfect time. If the farmer waited for a season when there's abundant rain, he wouldn't plant in advance. He wouldn't be able to plant because all the seeds will be washed away by the rains. He has to plant the seeds way before the rains come, and then hoping that the rains will come and water the ground, and hopefully there'll be fruit, for lack of a better word. There'll be abundant harvest later on. If we waited for the perfect season, I don't think we'd be able to get anything done. So sometimes it's just about diving into the waters and learning how to swim from there. Risky behavior. I'm not saying, hey guys, it takes wisdom to do these things. It takes wisdom to do these things. For you to learn how to swim, you have to get into the water. You don't learn how to swim by reading books only or watching tutorials. You have to be in the water and learn how to swim. Avoid getting into unsteady waters, or for you to go swim in the deep ends of the sea. You'll obviously drown. You'll be attacked by the sharks and stuff. But yeah, I hope you get where I'm going with this. So welcome to the space of a girly who didn't have it all figured out, but she just dived into it and she's trying her best to produce perfect work that is within her capacity. And also she's working towards progress over perfection, making progress over perfection. So today's episode is me reflecting on my 2-year journey in podcasting, because on the 31st of July, I celebrated 2 years of Kingdom Culture. 31st of July is the first time I uploaded a podcast. It's the first time I uploaded a podcast on Spotify. At the time, it wasn't available on other platforms. It was just Spotify. And at the time, there was also Google Podcasts, which then was discontinued. and they channeled my episodes to YouTube Music. So now you can also listen to Kingdom Culture on YouTube Music. When you are literally on YouTube Music, just search under podcast Kingdom Culture with Sumikosi, and you'll definitely find my episodes. So you are not only stuck to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, which are quite hard to access for some people. You can literally dive to your nearest space, YouTube Music, and you can find my podcast there. My podcast is also available on Acast, which is also my distributor. So Acast, you search on Acast, you don't have to have the application because there is no application. The application was discontinued some time ago. So you can search for acast.com and then click the option where it says listener. You look for the hamburger icon, which is the 3 lines on top of the right hand, and on the right hand side of the website, the hamburger icon, and then click there, and you'll find the section where it says podcaster, listener. I don't remember the third one, but you click listener, and then you search for episodes from there. Sign in, and yeah, you'll be able to enjoy my episodes and those of the ones that you love, if they do use Acast or if they're available on Acast. So that's it on updates on where you can find my podcast, other than YouTube. Apart from YouTube. So I'm testifying on my 2-year journey, and at the time when I started, I didn't have mics, I didn't have a camera, I still don't have a camera, I still don't have a phone. My phone captures pictures that look like dreams and imaginations and oil paintings, so I have to outsource equipment. Up to today, I still have to wolega to ask for my sister's phone or my mom's phone, or if I'm at work, we use the work camera for Scholastica. By the way, Kingdom Culture led us to Scholastica. Story for another day, but it's a big testimony in my life, and I'm really, really grateful. Scholastica is a podcast that's available on the ZITF company page on YouTube. It's a podcast that's there to bridge the gap between academia and the professional world. So it's for students and those who are trying to figure out their lives, trying to find their calling or their careers, their dream careers. So it's a space where we interact with different professionals, different people from different backgrounds who've succeeded, and people who have a story to tell. And hopefully they can inspire children at schools, people from varsity, people who still haven't found their purposes, even if they're old, it's okay. Really, it's for any and everyone who is looking for meaning and inspiration, basically. Bridging the gap to show you that it can be done, it's possible, right? So, Scholastica. God led me to Scholastica. And I'm grateful. I pray that there's more testimonies from Scholastica, just as there's more testimonies on Kingdom Culture. You know, I'm nurturing these 2 babies alike and trying to juggle everything also with the artwork. I prayed for capacity, and here we are. Capacity comes with work. It doesn't just come with capacity only. It comes with what's meant to fill the capacity. So I love my life, man. I love my life. So 2 years into podcasting, and now I'm managing 2 podcasts, loving it every day. Now, I'm not sarcastic here. I'm actually very, very excited to share this story. Initially, when I started, I was mostly focused on numbers. I was worried about numbers because I thought, hey, I wouldn't get a subscriber, I wouldn't get the viewers, I'd only get maybe 1 subscription and then 1 view. I was scared of rejection, basically. Rejection to say people will see my post and ignore. So I opened my chat. I used to tell people a lot about Kingdom Culture. Those who heard me speak about KC before it was even there. Hey, I respect you guys for your patience. So I told Mtogo, shout out to Mtogo Sisikwebu, Mr. LA. If you've seen my professional pictures, photo shoots on Facebook, Instagram, those pictures were captured by Mtogo. Yeah, mad respect and mad love. So I told him about Kingdom Culture. He's one of the people I told about Kingdom Culture some years ago. And he was like, please open that channel. I'll be the first to subscribe. And boy, did he fulfill his promise. When I opened the channel, I went to his studio. I'm like, yo, I finally uploaded. And he was like, let's search for it. Uploaded. Subscribed, sorry. Subscribed. In my head, I'm thinking of uploads. Finally subscribed, and he was my first subscriber. And then I don't remember how I got to 3 subscribers. I think I used an account from home from one of my folks, subscribed. If I say uploaded by mistake, just know I probably mean subscribe. But yeah, depending on the context. So I subscribed to my channel, yeah. Because yeah, I wanted to just get motivation to start. And then finally uploaded a video after some time, and it was terrible. I've come to learn that your first 10 videos, first 100 will be bad, but it's okay, put them out. They don't need to be perfect, just make progress, because you're trying to build an audience here. And so that's one of the important lessons that I've learned in Kingdom Culture, and also now that I'm in Scholastica with this experience that I carried from Kingdom Culture, right? So I used to think about numbers a lot, how many likes that the video would get, how many views, but I came to realize that it's so futile to have numbers but no engagement, because I've come to learn that engagement is more important than the numbers. The numbers are cool, sure, but is your audience engaging? Are they relating to the content that you're sharing? So engagement is very, very important. It is very important. So the vision for Kingdom Culture was simple: to speak truth, to share faith, and build a kingdom-minded community. Back then, I was staring at my first upload, wondering if anyone would tune in, you know? Well, people did. And I remember my first upload had like 50 views in like a day. That was amazing. And then the subscribers grew. I went from like 3 to 20 in a day. That was wild. That was really encouraging as well, you know? And then more and more and more. And now we had 312 subscribers in 2 years, which is big, because last year, around February, I was at 85 subscribers, and someone had the audacity to look me in the eye and say, "You're still playing. You're still on 85 subscribers. You're still playing." And I thought to myself, do you know how hard it is to build an audience? If they knew, they wouldn't be saying that. But I never took it too hard. I was like, sometimes people speak from an ignorance perspective, because not having awareness of certain things can literally... Sorry, I was gazing out of the window to see who walked in. Anyway, as I was saying, ignorance is not always bliss. So sometimes people speak from an ignorant perspective, and it's okay, let it go, let them, like Mel Robbins will say, let them, you know. So today I've come to learn that it's not about stats. Like, the numbers are okay, sure, they make us feel good, but let them not feed your ego. Let go of ego, Vel. Let go of ego. Let me tell you something more valuable than views. It's engagement, like I've said. The kind of engagement that stirs hearts, sparks conversations, and causes someone to think, hey, maybe God's got something for me, something more for me. And also on Scholastica, to have someone thinking, hey, I could actually make it. I will actually make it. That's my dream for Scholastica, to have people thinking at the end of the day, I actually can do it, and I'm actually going to do it. You know, I actually can, and I will. That's the kind of spirit that I want to plant there in every episode. To say, after watching the episode, after watching the video, you're like, I can and I will. Watch me. Yeah, man. 2 years later, here we are. Not just with numbers to show, but stories, impact, and connection. And can I be honest with you? I don't have a degree, for starters. No fancy certificates. Well, I do have a few certificates. But yeah, God doesn't check resumes. And that's the second lesson. God doesn't check for resumes sometimes. He's looking for ready hearts. When he calls you for something, he is looking for a ready heart. He's looking for a yes. So if you have a degree and God wants to use you, he'll not only look at your certificate or your degree, but he's also looking for willingness. Because it's one thing to have the qualifications, but are you willing to put in the work? It's another thing also to not have the qualifications, but are you also willing to put in the work? Are you also willing to take the path that hasn't been traveled yet? Because the road down the degreeless path is so uncertain. You don't know if you're going to be chosen. You don't know if you're going to be called back. You don't know who would want to work with you, At least with the degree part, you can apply. Of course, they'll be like, yeah, we need 3 to 5 years of work experience. But you've got the papers. They can lead you into other rooms. But on the path of the degreeless, yeah, it's called. Pun intended. See, like I'm talking about degrees and degrees in the literal sense of temperatures, and I'm like, it's cold. Sorry. But yeah, on the path of degreelessness, it's cold because you don't know who will call you. You don't know if you're going to be accepted. You don't know if you're going to be seen as worthy. But it disappoints me to read some perspectives about degrees because people have different stories. People have different backgrounds as to why they didn't go to school or why they haven't gone to school yet. Our stories are different. Our lives are not always conventional or go the way we want them to. And it's okay. So if we judge people according to degrees, papers, certificates, PhDs, tontons, we will miss out on the actual person. Strip off everything behind, like the titles, the awards, the degrees, the accolades. Strip that off of a person and speak to the individual. Who are you talking to? I think I value substance nowadays more than everything else. And I value people who have all these things, the awards, the accolades, the degrees. I have mad respect because it's not easy. But before we look at all those things, the titles, let us learn to experience people for who they are. So anyway, I digress. There's so much that I can unpack. It's a whole episode on its own. So yeah, I wanted to share my story of how I don't have a degree as well. And it was so uncertain because you get asked these questions and it's like sometimes people see you as less worthy if you don't have those things. But then also what I've come to realize is that there are some people who actually see more of my value because I don't have those things. They're like, bro, you've actually done so much and you don't have a degree. You've done so much. Like, how? I actually thought you had a degree. I once had a conversation with someone and they were like, I actually never knew you don't have a degree because what you've done is intense and the knowledge you possess is a lot. I actually thought you learned this somewhere and you have a degree in your pocket somewhere. I was like, nah, because God qualifies the unqualified. And when he takes you to places, he'll make it seem like you've got it in the bag. You've got it in the bag. He will use the foolish things to confound the wise. And if this is something that you can relate to, if you also don't have a degree or a certificate or an accolade or an award or something that may be deemed valuable in the world and therefore it makes you feel like you don't have value, listen to someone who actually doesn't have a degree. Here I am, still doing my best to make life work. Every day waking up with hopes of better days, but also not hoping only, but taking action. Because also there's this thing that can happen where, because maybe you don't have the resources or you don't have the means, you don't have the connections or the networks that can lead you to certain places. Therefore, you start to throw pity parties to be like, hey, I'm an orphan, hey, I'm this, I'm that. If you listen to an episode that we did on Scholastica with STEM Lady, shout out to STEM Lady, she was saying her parents died when she was young and she never threw a pity party to say I'm an orphan, but she actually went for her dreams. Life happened, but she still rose and she's where she is today, hiring thousands of people. Now she is the STEM Lady, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. She is STEM Lady today because she never threw a pity party. And so I wanted to go back to saying, when you don't have the connections, the networks, the degrees, the whatevers, because of life circumstances, it's so easy to throw pity parties and be like, yo, I'm here because of this and that. And sometimes it's easy to feel like the world owes you something, or like life owes you something. Life owes you, what's it called? Compassion. They need to feel sorry for you. But the truth is, we live in a cold world. Like I said, a degreeless road is a cold road. Like sometimes it can be brutal. People don't care out here. It's really hard. It's really hard not to have connections or networks, to have a surname that speaks for you, like to be an Obama in this world, like to not be an Obama or a Rockefeller or a De Beer or a Gates or a Winfrey. Like if you don't have that surname that speaks for you before you even go there, it's hard to kind of go to the top, because you don't have, like, I don't know if I'm making sense. Some people are privileged to have parents who have established networks, who have made it in the corporate world, in the farming world, wherever they are. They have that privilege, but and so before they even get into the spaces, already it's guaranteed that they're going to succeed. I've heard of people talk about Elon Musk, of how his dad was already successful and had money, and so it was easy for him to succeed because he came from a background of wealth, right? And that's always the argument, to say kids born into privilege don't really suffer that much because they inherit the privilege, but it's not always the case. So given that you are one of those who don't come from privilege, I just want to assure you that if you take the necessary steps and don't throw pity parties, but actually work towards becoming the one who has the surname that speaks for your kids in rooms, child, you're gonna make it, man. So here we're breaking barriers and rewriting stories to say, I want to be that woman who has this surname. Of course, I'm gonna inherit my husband's surname. Shout out to you, babe. Like, dear future husband, shout out to you. I'm gonna inherit my husband's surname because I'll gladly do it. Like, I want to be Mrs. Husband. Yeah. If he insists on me keeping my surname, I'm gonna be Snomingo Sikumela husband. So yeah, inheriting my husband's surname and also carrying my father's surname with me is going to be a very powerful thing for me, because now I want to be that person who will create such a powerful legacy, so much that when my kids or when our kids grow up, they also have that privilege to say, them being Spusiso husband, like, or Trevor, like, say my kid is called Trevor or Spusiso or Temba, right? Whatever their name is. They're going to, of course, they're going to work. I'm going to teach them how to work and work smart, and to be goal oriented and to be assertive. I don't want to raise spoiled kids, because it's tough. I don't want to raise entitled kids, but I want them to earn their success also. They may be born into success, but they also have to earn it, So yeah, I want to create that legacy to say, I won't have to worry about my kids' varsity fees or scholarships, because it's certain, it's done. It's done. Mommy and daddy have created that. They've rewritten the narrative. They've broken the streak. If there was a legacy of struggling in the past, well, this is where it runs out. This is where it ends. Kingdom culture is what this is about. Rewriting the legacy, changing the narrative and the script. And not only kingdom culture, but whatever your calling is, dear listener, this is where negativity should run out. This is where poverty runs out. This is where suffering runs out. And yeah, fine, we are in Africa, and worse, I am from the place that is considered one of the toughest places to be in, Zim. Yeah. My people have often said, laugh in joking manners, "Aksa Zimbabwe." Basically, it's tough. It's tough being in Zim, but also the fact that it's tough shows us that there's opportunity here. There's so much potential for this place, and I always believe that it can be done and it will be done. There's so much opportunity. There's so much to be done. There's so much to be discovered, because the city that I'm from, shout out to Bulawayo, shout out to y'all Bulawayo folks. I see you. You're the largest audience that I have, and that's great. I appreciate it. So Bulawayo people are talented, and so I believe that this generation, what a time to be alive in this generation. What a time to be alive, because we have AI, we have technology, we have God, I mean, God is supreme. That's our everything right there. We have books, we have therapy, we've got pastors who can guide us. We have knowledge, we've got therapists, we have the resources to succeed, basically. So it's all about knowing where to look. So yeah, even without a degree, you can make it. I realized I digress so much. I shifted from my angle of approach. But that's how it is when I start speaking from the heart. I forget myself. I forget. Like Snomi, the shy Snomi steps away, and this new one comes into spaces that I never knew she could go into. Sometimes I surprise myself, really. I surprise myself. God saw it fit to use me anyway, to open doors I never walked on. I never knocked on. Yeah. To give me a voice in spaces I never thought I'd enter. If you're sitting there feeling underqualified, let me remind you that God qualifies the called. He qualifies you even without the papers. And if you have the papers, He'll qualify you still, if you are willing and if you want to say yes. He equips those who say yes. He opens the doors when we walk by faith, not by fear. I've had comments that made me cry, messages that remind me why I started. Oh, I've got such a wonderful community that is always there to remind me of why I started and why I should keep going. And a lot of these moments have brought me closer to the one who called me to do this. So if you're dreaming of building something, the theme this week basically is going crazy. I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast today, and one of the things that she spoke about was going crazy, be crazy, and let go of that negative attitude. Go crazy, but this is me saying this to you. Go crazy, but stay sane. Stay sane. If you're dreaming of building something, whether it's a podcast, a business, a ministry, whatever it is, here's my testimony to you. Go crazy with your work, but stay sane. Invest and learn. Read books, listen to podcasts, ask the right questions, ask the right people. Don't just ask anyone, because some people are there to kill destinies. They are agents of the devil. Hey, the devil. Did I just say the devil? Sure. The devil. They are agents of the devil. I almost said it again. They are agents of the devil. Yes, much better. To kill, steal, and destroy, as per John 10, verse 10. But there are some who are ministers of Christ who are there to give life, to speak life, and to speak life in abundance. I'm one of those people who want to speak life to you. So be careful who you approach. Be careful who you speak to. You never know the assignment of people, basically. Not everyone means good in your life. So be careful. Ask the right questions and ask the right people. Yes. And have the right attitude. Don't be negative. I know that's a hard thing to say, especially me saying this, because I know sometimes my attitude is, it's wah. But I have to remind myself that I have to be the most positive person that I know. And also to have a renewed mind every day, to renew my mind, because the mind is a battlefield. Joyce Meyer wrote a whole book about this. I highly recommend that book, by the way. It's a battlefield, and we constantly have to fight to make sure we have the right thoughts, to make sure we have right meditations, because your attitude determines your altitude. Typical American rhetoric, but it's true. Your attitude determines your altitude. If you think positive thoughts, you can. It's only fair that you radiate positivity as well, and life gives you back positivity. They speak about this in the law of attraction, So give off positive energy, be positive too, and you can only attract positivity. Negative energy will repel. So last scripture that I will leave last parting words basically for this episode is Colossians 3 verse 23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. That's the heartbeat right there. That's what fuels my life, and what can fuel your mission too. If you've been riding with me on this journey, thank you. If you're new here, welcome to the table. Don't forget to keep growing, keep learning. The best is yet to come. This is not me saying goodbye. This is me saying hi, because you're here to see more of me, and I appreciate you. I love you so much, but God loves you more. Thank you for listening. Stay bold, stay courageous, and until next time, stay kingdom-minded. Peace and purpose to you. Bye for today. I love you.